Okay, everyone. I was right in the middle of recording a message, okay? And the video just shut off, and that never happens. I know I have a lot more storage on this phone than 32 seconds of footage. Anyway, as you recall, I put a video up on this channel 3 months ago stating, will the vaccine be mandated by the Supreme Court? And y'all will know what vaccine I'm talking about. Okay, we're past 32 seconds. Please, God, let this message go out. Anyway, as you all know, that I believe it was going to be done in phases and steps, and I mentioned that. I didn't set a time length or anything like that. I just said it was going to be done. So while everybody was done with preoccupied with Ukraine and the Will Smith and Chris Rock drama behind your back, the federal vaccine mandate was reinstated by the appellate court, which is a lower court than the Supreme Court. Because what happened was, at first it was accepted by the appellate court, and it went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court blocked it. The Supreme Court turns around, sends it back down to the lower court, the appellate court, and they reinstated it. Okay? Now, they're trying to reinstate the national vaccine mandate for private employer sectors, where they all have to mandate the vaccine for the employees. How they plan on going about doing that is by replacing any conservative Republican justice that sits in the Supreme Court panel, I'm going to call it. That's one of the justices. And so far, I believe they've replaced 2, or maybe more than that. And I guess, I don't know about the others, but if they can't replace them, my best guess is that they're going to coerce them into adopting their views, meaning the powers that be, into adopting their views, because they want to get this New World Order agenda off the ground. So, that being said, they're either going to coerce the remaining justices, or they're going to flat out replace them with puppets. And that's what I'm going to call them. So, word on the street is that they're targeting Justice Clarence Thomas. There's a lot of negative publicity, dirt, being dished out on this man. And they're trying to use that to blackmail him, either into going by what they want, the agenda, or, if not, ruining this man's reputation and his career and expelling him, ousting him from the Supreme Court chair. So as soon as they have the justices that they want in position, then they could go back to the Supreme Court to reevaluate the national vaccine mandate. Now I'm going to take a step back for a minute. This is what happened when the Supreme Court blocked it the first time. It was sent to the lower courts, the appellate court. Now, the appellate court, this case is literally sitting on their desk, meaning it's open. And it's in the process of being evaluated by the appellate court, the very same appellate court that reinstated the federal vaccine mandate. Now, you got these 2 cases open. So what's going to happen is that, being that the federal vaccine mandate was reinstated, that's going to go back to the Supreme Court, okay? Because those that oppose it are trying to sue it, trying to stop it. They're going to take it to the Supreme Court. As for the national vaccine mandate, that has yet to be evaluated by the federal appellate court. But it's going to be evaluated. And once it becomes evaluated, of course, they're going to reinstate it like they did before. And that's going to go back to the Supreme Court for review. As soon as the powers that be have the justices that they want in position, okay, that believe in their views, that believe in this New World Order agenda, that believe in this so-called vaccine, they're going to easily remove the block and make the national vaccine mandate legit. And that will give OSHA the necessary power they need to enforce it in the workplace. Now you might say, what about our constitutional rights? What about Congress? They're going to play it differently this time. Of course, they're going to get Congress to go with the agenda, to approve it. Because I said that if Biden, and we all know he's a puppet, but if those that are basically, pulling his strings go through Congress, and Congress approves it, then it's going to be much easier to win in the Supreme Court. And this is what I'm speculating, okay? Because of constitutional rights and checks and balances and all that stuff. That all plays a role in this. You can't bypass Congress. That's why they lost the first time. But, hey, same thing. They want this New World Agenda off the ground. They're going to try to get the remaining members that are not on this bandwagon to either coerce them and force them, threatening whatever it takes to go with this agenda, or they're going to eliminate them, replace them with puppets that are easy to manipulate so they can get that vote to make this mandate happen. Now, I told you all that this vaccine mandate is the prerequisite to the mark of the beast, and I firmly believe that. You got that going on. In Israel, the Philistines, aka Ishmaelites, desecrated the tomb of Joseph. You can't say the real term I want to say on here because you got, morons that get all upset, call you racist, call you this, call you that, and that's not the case. So I'm just going to say the Philistines and the Ishmaelites desecrated the tomb of Joseph. And that was last week, April, I think it was April 6th. Actually, yeah, a few days ago of 2022 that this happened. You also have, like I said, the crisis. They tell you, it's Ukraine's fault. And I'm not even going to get into that. It's a whole nother agenda. But I'm not saying Russia's a saint. But we all know that Ukraine's corrupt. Okay? We all know that. So, basically what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, that the prophets of old predicted this. Most importantly, Jesus predicted this. That nations will rise against nations, kingdom against kingdom. The love of man will grow cold. There will be rumors of wars. There will be pestilences. There will be famine. You name it. Plus, the spiritual realms will be breaking down. This was prophesied by Jesus. All of the stuff that's going on, ladies and gentlemen, all of it, are signs of the times that we are living in, which is the beginning of sorrows, that Jesus is returning soon. Okay? I also want to point out something very interesting to you all. And I'm going to leave it at that. This is for food for thought. When Adam was created by the Lord took a rib from Adam's right side. Right? If you look at how Jesus, the position that the spear penetrated Jesus, if you look at the scriptures and study about the crucifixion, basically, that means that, again, reinforces the fact that Jesus is God, because water poured out of the wound and a little bit of blood. It's the blood of the Lamb, the water of life. Jesus is God. The Word, the Spirit became the Word, and the Word became flesh, who became the suffering servant for mankind to rescue us from our sins. That's Jesus. What Jesus did for you on the cross. So, look at the times that we're living in. Get your household in order, because I believe times will be getting worse. And I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying be prepared, like how God told Joseph to prepare for the 7-year famine that was coming. Okay? By having him store up grain in his house. God told, and God never gave a date, okay? God just told Joseph that a famine was coming. He told him 7 years, but God's timing is not our timing. 7 years could be 100 years. You know what I mean? He just told him to get ready. He didn't give him a specific date. Famine's coming, just be prepared. And Joseph stocked up. God told Noah that because of all the sin and the wickedness in the world, he was going to destroy it and purge it of all the sin with a great flood. And to gather each marine, species of the land, species of the air, insects, God said that he was going to destroy everything together, female and male of each species, and gather them into the ark, along with Noah and his family, and the very few that believe what Noah was saying with Jesus leading. God didn't give a date for the flood. It just happened. And people thought Noah was crazy. And the same thing with the message that Jesus is coming. He's not going to tell you when. He's just going to show up. Okay, and with that being said, in that mix, we have to work on our own salvation. God didn't come down to build the ark for Noah. He had to do it himself to prove himself to God. Okay? So that's why I'm saying, with everything that is happening, those are signs that Jesus is returning. The spiritual realms are breaking down, and we all need to get our house in order, to put our differences aside and focus on the most important priority, and that's Jesus Christ, the living God. Okay? So I know there's a lot of scary stuff happening. Everybody's worried about their finances. Everybody's worried about how gas prices are going up, how food is going up. And I realize that, and I understand where you're coming from. Okay? But if you trust in God, there's nothing that she can't do. And he can't do. There's nothing that he can't do. And he told us to endure to the end, that we shall be saved. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that the rapture is very near. And I believe that Jesus is returning for his bride. Okay? And until then, we just have to hold on. Hold on.